Yo, what up? It's your man, Mr. Dean, a.k.a. Cross, and you're listening to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio, and we got a good show for y'all today. I got my man, my co-host, DJ, D-I-J-A-I, and we here, man, just to talk about several different things that's going on in the world. We're going to talk about hip-hop today, man, but it's getting kind of crazy right now with this Trump assassination attempt. Thoughts?
I have so many. And it's just DJ, how could you forget, man? I have so many mixed emotions on that topic because did you know he went golfing the day after that?
Okay.
Did you see that on
Nope, I wasn't aware.
Yeah, so there were so many posts. There's so many conspiracies around that topic right now. Like why he almost got assassinated. How did he almost get assassinated? And why it failed and why he's recovering so fast. So there is a thing I like to say about Trump. And he's not the president right now, so I feel like I won't get in trouble. But he like a thug. Like he real thugged out. Like from a street perspective, from like outside looking in, coming from the community that I'm coming from.
Okay.
Trump is a bully. You feel me?
Coming from the community you coming from, what community you coming from?
So coming from the black community, coming from a younger community, if y'all don't know, actually most of St. Paul's population is under the age of 35.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yep, St. Paul, Minnesota. So in my community, I really only have a lot of my peers that I talk to about issues like this. So not people's Trump age.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Cool, go ahead.
So economy-wise, we view Trump as a good president, economy-wise, because he put money out and he gave money to people who honestly needed it in a time of a crisis. He gave hope to a lot of people and kept a promise of giving hope to a lot of people. Did he do that the best way possible? In my head, no, because you should never have to down one community to support another community, especially if you're representing the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, he's a thug. Like he our most thugged out president that I ever seen. All the other presidents, I feel like they sugarcoated a lot of their intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump is just like, nah, bruh. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. And if you don't like it, I'll fire you. And then if my homie go to jail, I'm going to get him out. And then once he get out, he going to be in the White House with me in your position. So, like, the way he taking over, you got to just get this man his kind of, like, who really wants to go against Trump?
Well, let me ask you a question since you say that, because a lot of people get a lot of misconceptions in regards to thugs. So when you, because it depends on, like, you already prefaced it and said your hood, and you kind of describe your hood. But when you talk in terms of thug, depending on who you talk to, it has two different meanings. If you talk to Tupac, thug is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It is.
If you talk to a person that's in corporate America, a thug is the worst thing in the world. So when you talk in terms of, Trump being a thug, like, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing from your perspective and your generation?
Corporate thugging. So let's just talk about gang banging, the evolution of gangs a little bit, right?
Okay.
So organized crime was frowned upon in the black community and celebrated in another community. I'm not going to say which community, but it was frowned upon in one community and then it was celebrated in another community. The mafia. If you ever watch a mafia movie, their documentaries look so much different than ours. Mm-hmm. When you talk about Bloods and GDs and Vice Lords and Crips, they get a really bad reputation. They get a really bad, and honestly, from what I know, at my age, at 25 years old, growing up with active gang members, it was really a sense of belonging that they were looking for. And they wanted to get organized. They wanted to get better. They wanted to, even if they were doing bad, they wanted to get better at doing what they were doing. The only way to do that is to build a community, build a network of people that you trust. Now, I'm watching Trump do this same thing.
Okay.
He's only bringing people around that aren't going to tell him no, that he knows that he can trust to an extent or replace. he's not putting people that challenge him next to him because he is the one who is running things. You know, he has a vision, and if you don't understand his vision, then he does not have time to explain it to you. That's where we go into corporate thugging, because if you go on his tweets, dude was thugging his whole term. He was thugging.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though? That's what I'm trying to understand. From your perspective, when you say that he was thugging, is that
it's
good
a
or bad?
double-sided sword. So, like, if he becomes president right now,
yeah,
that means I could become president.
Okay.
To an extent, like
I'm listening.
if he becomes president and I get the same accolades and reputation as him, and I'm still a felon, I can still become president. He opened a door for people like us that are frowned upon in that corporate world.
Okay.
Which is the thug side. Like, now, being a thug is more attractive. Now, there are people who are like, dude is a communist. Like, he has more of a communist mindset opposed to a democracy where everybody gets a voice. Nah, he don't. I honestly don't think he has time to care about everybody else's voice. Trump has a objective that he's not making very clear. In my head, like, he'll play both sides of the fence a lot. Like, he went to Chicago, you know, and was like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" And then went somewhere else and was like, "Yeah." He real passive aggressive in his approach sometimes, and then other times he's over aggressive depending on his crowd and audience. So, and that's just outside looking in. I just got the ability to vote again actually this year.
Okay.
So I didn't get to vote for the president, so I never really paid attention to him until they did something either great or horribly wrong.
Well, I would say that one thing I know for certain is that a lot of young people are into politics now than ever before in history.
Yep.
And paying attention to actually what's going on in the world.
Yep.
It's interesting, man, you know, because when you think about it from biblical terms, like, you know, some people will say that Trump is a tyrant. Like, some people, you know, with him having a felony and, you know, and some of the things that he say that are targeted towards certain people, and he don't bite his tongue about anything, you know, like you just said, he's plain spoken.
Yeah.
You know, when he says something, you know exactly where he's coming from, you know what he's thinking, you know, and this, that, and the other. As far as his personality, it's one thing to have, your personality is totally different from your campaign, you know what I'm saying, as far as what you're trying to do policy-wise. And there's a lot of people that don't like his personality, and he offends a lot of other cultures.
Yep.
In regards to his personality.
Suge Knight of the White House.
And you got to, and the question becomes, you know, are you, you know, is he, is his policies though? Is his policies affecting different cultures in a negative way? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, though that's just something, you know, that to really think about, you know, in regards to, you know, how he moves. You feel me? I remember, you know, when it came to hip hop culture, like Trump was like very influential in hip hop culture.
Yep.
Because you talk about being from the hood and just kind of being poor and being black in the inner city or whatever. Poor black people used to idolize Trump in the inner city.
Yeah.
Because he was always one of the richest people on earth.
Yep.
And I know that a lot of urban inner city kids, especially black boys, wanted to emulate him, and they looked up to him. They didn't necessarily know him as a person. They just knew the idea of him, which is just like, okay, here's this rich man with a lot of money and got a lot of pull, and he's a shot caller, a boss, you feel me, you know, with a lot of wealth. In hip-hop culture, you know, that's a lot of young people, that's what they aspire to become, you feel me?
The boss.
So they rap about it, you know what I'm saying, and make songs about it. And so if you do your research on hip-hop culture, you'll find that a lot of rappers, they reference Donald Trump in their lyrics.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I just find that interesting, man, you know, in regards to how that whole piece rolls out and how he's impacted like culture.
Man, So
from that perspective. Go ahead.
how do you feel about his following then? Because the way people follow him, they praise that man. Like there's Trump extremists.
Yeah.
Like he created a cult. like like he created a cult of people. He gave them the color. Everybody wears the red hat. He gave them the slogan, and he gave them the willpower. He was like, "You guys don't have to listen to these people, even though I'm not doing things that they would consider professional. We get to set the bar. Create a better America." Like, and like it was crazy at first. Like outside looking in, it looked like a new gang. Because now if you go against Trump, then you not with them. So now it don't matter where you from, it don't matter what you was doing before. If you say I don't like Trump, you're offending not only Trump but a whole cult full of people who will come and do what they didn't they climb over the White House gates at one point?
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a whole like big rally riot behind?
Yeah, absolutely. The January on January 6th. That.
When in presidential history have people really gone through so much to support this type of cause on a presidential standpoint?
Well,
not even as president, because he's not even a president right now. People still ready to climb over the White House walls.
No, it hasn't happened in history. And at the same time, you had mentioned that he's passive aggressive. I would challenge that a little bit, and I would just say that he's very aggressive. And I would say I would go so far to say that the other presidents in history, they were passive aggressive, to some degree, because he say things that presidents don't even really say, man.
Grab her by her.
Yeah, you feel me?
Turn.
Yeah,
like he's so turned.
And so naturally, you appealing to the common person when you deal like that. So it's not like these other presidents. They get in back rooms and they may say that, or they may get at a bar and say that, or they may go, they may be in the privacy of their family and say things. He's taken his platform, his public platform, his global platform, and he's saying those things. And some people in the culture say, well, yeah, okay, he's just keeping it 100. He's just keeping it real, whatever. And I respect that. The people saying they respect that. But the thing about it is, it can divide the country to some degree.
Man,
interesting.
How you gonna say make America great again? That just means that you don't think America is great to begin with.
Well, that means you don't think America's great right now, but it depends on who you're talking about when you say make America great again. Because when you talk about black people in the United States, and you talk about slavery in history, that wasn't great to a whole lot of black people who was on them slave plantations. So they ain't trying to go back and make that great again.
Exactly.
It's your boy, Mr. Dean. And you listen to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio, man. We'll jump back into it. Yeah, we're going to tie this thing into hip-hop, too. It's your man, Mr. Dean, and you're listening to Holy Culture Radio, and this is the Man Up Club presents with my man, DJ Yo. We're talking about former President Trump. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of touching on the assassination, which we ain't really dove into yet, but we will. And just kind of talking about his impact on culture, impact on the urban community, impact on young black males, and just impact on America in general. And there's a lot going on with the president, man. I mean, we talked, DJ, you was talking about the president in regards to hip hop, and you said something about him being a
oh man,
what'd you say, a rapper or something?
If Trump dropped a mixtape, bruh, like instantly he gonna be one of the top rappers. Like he passing Drake now. He passing Kendrick on the charts.
Hold on, man. Time out. What are we, and I gotta it's like, what are we talking about here?
If
that's
Trump
the whole
decided
point
right now that he was gonna be a rapper, and he made an announcement like, I am going to get into the industry, like I can see the whole speech in my head, and he just started rap battling everybody all the time. Do you know how much? I'm giving him free promo right now.
Come on,
if Trump dropped a mixtape, whether it was good or bad, it was Trump on a mixtape. He's going
Come on, dude. Who gonna
he's
buy
going
into
up,
that?
and his music is gonna be everywhere. You know why? Because he's a businessman. So he's gonna make sure he has the best sounding stuff to him though. He's not playing to an audience. He never did that. He never played to an audience. To your point, he's just gonna do what he do, and then you gonna have to like it because he Trump.
I ain't buying none of that. I don't know if y'all buying any of that stuff.
You
that he's
gonna
saying,
hear about it though. You don't even have to.
I know you
buy
go.
it. He's
What?
going
Okay,
to
yeah, I agree
give
with
it to
anything
you.
that former President Trump does. That yeah, you gonna hear about it. But
Yep.
some things are just far fetched as far as him dropping a mixtape and him being a rapper. Now,
They
what I
did.
will say to his credit is that he has influenced hip hop culture to it, like I said earlier, to a certain degree where they reference him based on his wealth and what have you. And then yeah, he dove into the entertainment industry, but he dove in it in his lane, which was business. You know, with his show The Apprentice, you know, but he stayed in his lane where he, you know, he fired people and, you know, based on, you know, the wealth and all of that and job creation and, you know, this, that, and the other. And he continues to evolve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on with him. But, you know,
I sign him.
I was shocked, to keep it real with you. I was shocked when I heard that the young man that actually attempted the assassination was a 20-year-old young man.
Why?
You don't really expect that you expect for somebody to, if you're going to expect somebody to assassinate or attempt to assassinate a president. I think for me the first thought that would come to in mind is a person who is mature, who's seasoned, who understands the dynamics of all of that, the implications of it, who's well prepared. Because that ain't something that you just do every day, which is try to assassinate the president. Like, you know, when you think about previous assassinations, like, say, for example, JFK, John F. Kennedy, that was a methodical, strategic type of thing. When you think about the assassination of Martin Luther King, that was a premeditated, you know, strategic, methodical type of thing. Same way with Malcolm X and other people. Who were older who carried these things out. But I never would imagine in my wildest dreams that it would be, you know, a young dude who was just 20 years old, man.
And who is the easiest population to influence?
Of course,
in our
young people,
society,
right? I get that.
right? And in my head, who are the easiest to take advantage of in
I
our
get that.
society?
I get that.
I don't think it was planned out by a 20-year-old. Like if you honestly ask me, nah. And if it was, dude is clout chasing. Like he never intended. He wanted the reputation of hurting Trump. I don't think he was trying to kill him. And if he was, he should have came up with a better plan.
That's interesting that you say that.
I just in my head, and somebody else talked to me about this too. For one, if you know for a fact the consequences of your actions, like if you really thought it out and was like, I'm gonna do this, and the best case scenario is I die, I would personally go all out. Like, there's no point of halfway doing something when the consequence is death.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, like, I don't know what that person was thinking at all, but
we don't know, and we never will know because you know they killed him.
Exactly.
You know, and I understand. Yeah, so I kind of understand where you're coming from. I think that it's a sad reality though, that you know we're in a place where you know people just for what you say, people want to murder you.
Yeah.
I mean, we say we have freedom of speech, but the true fact of the matter is we really don't.
At all.
And what we say does hurt people and impact cultures and communities and different demographics. And let's be real about it. What you say can make or break a person's lifestyle and determine whether they even have a lifestyle or not. You see what I'm saying? That's where this thing gets, you know, it gets very, very serious, man. And it's just it's a lot to take in. Like when I seen that, I was just like, "Whoa, are you serious?" Like we actually getting ready to be in a time right now where there was legitimately an assassination attempt on a president's life. But I'll be real with you from my, on my side of the table, and it's a sad reality. But I actually expected an assassination attempt to happen when Barack Obama was in office for those 8 years.
I was literally gonna say that. My dad said that. Like my dad was, as soon as Barack was, and I was like, what was it, 2008? He was in office, 8 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 8.
He was in there 8 years. Go
I
ahead.
was 8, 9 years old when Trump was in office. But I distinctively remember my dad
Barack
saying, like, yeah, they're gonna assassinate him. Like, and it was because how much hatred came from a certain area.
No, it's how much hatred came from him being black.
Yeah,
Call a spade a spade.
A spade is, yeah, exactly.
So
there was so much around him that I think he was overprotected for sure.
And he was a hell of a president. I mean, Barack was a great president.
Exactly. And he still get discredited because he was black.
Yeah, absolutely. But but think about the mentality though for a second of you're a black man and you aspire to the highest level in society.
Yep.
Which is to actually become the president of the United States.
And then they try to destroy you in every way possible.
Well, in the back of a lot of people's mind, especially black people, not all black people, but a large majority of black people, this notion or this idea that he's achieved this level of success, which is the pinnacle of political success and the pinnacle of success in America when you're the ruler of the free world and you're a black male, and the thought that comes in that develops in some people's mind is, oh yeah, there's definitely going to be an assassination attempt.
And you want to
think about that though. How many times has that happened, or how many? Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you. So like, I can't tell you what white people are thinking.
Yeah.
Just like I can't tell you everything that black people are thinking. But I would be curious to know if there was a way in which we could find out of all the white presidents throughout history and with all the white people in America, how many of them have the thought that when any of those presidents come into office and come into power, that one of their first thoughts in that regard is, I wonder when an assassination attempt will happen on them. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I mean, back when, and I gotta go back into the schools and ask these type of questions because I miss them. Just asking young people how many presidents they know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember too many presidents.
First of all, you're only 25, and it's every 4 years.
But when you were in school, didn't you go through a history class and they taught you about like the presidents?
I mean, I get where you're coming from. They did, but the thing was, being a young black male, I couldn't relate.
Yeah.
So I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it.
Me neither.
I mean, first of all, they didn't even teach black history.
Exactly. But I'm gonna remember Trump.
Exactly. Right.
Like
you and every other person in the United States, regardless of your color, age, race, ethnicity, and religious affiliation.
Yep. Now the rest of the presidents, they were trying to be just like the president before them, and that was how they described it to me when I was in school. Like they had an objective and an amount of time to hit their objective, and they had to, before the people, get elected by the people and then represent the people.
Mm-hmm.
We're out of that with Trump. Trump not representing me. He can't. He's an over rich white dude. I can't relate to him in any aspect other than him being popular.
Well, a lot of people will say, you can't relate. How can you not? A lot of people will say, are you saying that the only person that you can relate to is a black president who looks like you?
No. I can only relate really to people that I can see myself being. Like I can't see myself being Trump ever. So me and him would never relate on any aspect of that. Like because he is who he is, and I can say that about a lot of people who aren't white. I know some black people I can never see myself being.
Mm-hmm.
I can never.
And that's why I asked you to clarify.
Yeah, I get there's a handful of people that look just like me that are exactly where I'm from that have been through similar backgrounds that I can never see myself being like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of their mindset. It's because of how I see myself and how I perceive myself becoming something. I can never do or even want to do some of the things that I've seen other people do. Trump is a good example, but there's there's different categories. I'm not gonna start using hard drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand what I
you see what I'm
understand.
saying?
Yeah, I
So
get it.
it's not about the prestige. It's not about I don't think I'm gonna be rich or famous or any of that. It just I can't ever see myself even comparing myself to a person
Yeah,
like that.
I think with this assassination attempt that's done swayed this election big time because I believe the people who were possibly even on the fence with Trump, I think they just might go the other way, go toward his way because of the empathy and the sympathy, and what have you of the assassination attempt. Um, but one thing that is interesting to me, man, is when somebody shoot at your head and try to murder you and kill you. Um, it seemed like to me you would just be trying to rush to get off the stage and take cover as opposed to trying to still continue to rally people in the midst of facing death. Now some people might call that a hero, but yeah, I don't know, man. I look at that a little bit different.
I told you it's a plan. It's a plan.
It's your man, Mr. Dean. You listen to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio, man. We just give a voice to young black males, man, and just, have a good time and really hear what they got to say about all sorts of things. And right now we just tapping in a little bit into the political landscape. We're not endorsing anybody. We're not endorsing President Trump or Biden. You know what I'm saying? We're not endorsing Republicans or Democrats by any stretch of the imagination, but we have had a tragic situation that has happened in our country, and we definitely want to address that. So that's what we own. So if there's any misconception.
All right, it's your boy DJ, and we back on Holy Culture Radio with the Man Up Club presents, and we've been talking about this Trump, this popularity contest, this conspiracy, this effect that it has really on the community in total. Like as young black men, there's a lot of confusion. It's a very big distraction to some of the real world issues, and we're seeing it leak over into everything. Whether you're talking about school, whether you're talking about moving houses, if you're talking about just living your day-to-day life, we have let this distract us to the point where I had to go do some research all day. Like I got engulfed into the research of what is going on with that specific incident and the Drake and Kendrick incident.
Okay, so when you say specific incident, are you talking about the assassination of
Yep,
President
yep.
Trump,
The
and then
assassination
you're
attempt,
also talking about the
assassination of Drake's career by Kendrick Lamar. Yes, yes, I'm talking about that too. So,
Okay, all right, cool. You talking about two assassinations,
two assassinations.
political assassination attempt, and then an indeed assassination in hip hop culture.
Man, because there's Drake was like the 20-year-old in this situation.
Okay.
He knew what he was shooting at. He knew who he was. He knew, or he thought he knew the consequences that came with it. The fame, the attraction. And I honestly don't even remember where the beef started. I don't remember. It has been going on so long and it got so blown out of proportion and it got so distracting that I forgot what we were even mad about. I don't even know. Same thing with Trump. It lingered so long that there were so many different ideas that were like drilled into my head that I couldn't even tell you exactly what the problem was. I know what the problem, like I get the concept of the problem, but I don't know when it started.
Mm-hmm.
So just to shift gears a little bit, talking about the industry stuff, now there's this bar that has been set again, right? Because industry wise, outside looking in as a young person, you didn't have to be good anymore to be a rapper. You didn't. You just had to be popular. You had to be more popular than the person that you were rapping against. And I'm not throwing any shade on styles and things, but look at the rappers that were actually promoted through my generation.
That's interesting. I'm gonna draw a correlation through hip hop and politics too, because a lot of people would say that you had to be good and you had to have policies that were very impactful in order to be president. And that's what got you voted in. And you're saying that you had to be good before to be a rapper and to
Yeah.
be and to be at the top
Yep.
and to have an impact. But now you're saying like you don't even have to be good to be a rapper. All
Nah.
you got to do is be famous and popular.
Sell a dream.
And a lot of people would say the same thing, that it doesn't matter when it comes to politics now, that you don't have to bring policies and procedures and really understand the political landscape of America and all that it comes with it. All you got to do is be popular as in order to become president.
Yep.
And I find that very interesting because when we talking about Trump, I know that out of all the presidents, and maybe I would say Barack may have started it, but I definitely think that Trump is taking it to another level when it comes to the marketing and promotion and the branding,
Yep.
And the entertainment factor. You feel me? And that thing is all across the board. Like entertainment kind of supersedes a whole lot of things. Like in other words, the entertainment factor can overshadow a lot of important issues because people like to be entertained because being entertained is easy.
Yep.
Whether it's in being entertained in music, and we get so entertained in music to the point that we don't care about how negative the music is and how negative music impacts culture. Gets
Is
people
it entertaining? Is it entertaining?
gets people to kill people, hurts your mental health, the misogynistic messages, the glorifying of drugs and alcohol and all of that. Um, but the question is he entertaining? Is she entertaining? In the same way with politics, a lot of people don't care about you know how a vote is going to impact the community. They just kind of want to go with the most entertaining
With the crowd.
candidate.
With the crowd.
I that's interesting to make that correlation.
Yeah. And like I said, on the entertainment side of things, there's this real push on drugs, power. Power is a really big one. It's a popularity contest, but how powerful are you? How powerful do people perceive you? So Kendrick Lamar, very powerful people in my eyes. I don't know what they do on a day-to-day life. I know Drake used to be an actor and Kendrick was a rapper my whole life.
Drake used to be an actor
I mean, an actor.
in Disney.
Yep, Degrassi.
Now he gangster.
Now he a gangster, yeah. But he Canadian, so like
Disney.
And he Jewish. He's a Canadian
Mickey
Jewish.
Mouse,
Disney.
Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Goofy, and whoever else.
Yep. But we believed him because he started acting a different way. That was the thing until he became what he was acting like real life. Like started from the bottom, now we're here.
You started the bottom.
You didn't exactly, but I believed him. When I heard the song, I believed him. Right. I was like, he was broke with me.
Yeah, that's the thing because you actually went through that.
Yeah, it was like, can I relate to this? Yes, right now. But realistically, I've never been on Disney. If that was his bottom, I want to be at the bottom too. I want to go do shows and be on Disney and meet famous people my whole life and not have to worry about where my next meal comes from. I want to do that too. I mean, so there's two different things that attracted us to that genre. And then Drake honestly isn't a rapper in my eyes.
What is he then?
An artist.
What's the difference?
Difference between a rapper and an artist is with artistry, you do pop, you do R&B, you do all of these different genres and you change your style to your audience.
I got you.
Right?
For
so
sure.
Drake is an artist in my head. when people call him a rapper, I'm like, nah, he's an actor and an artist.
Mhm.
Because he can act like a rapper. Good. He's good at acting like a rapper. But as an artist, as an actor, he can go and get songs written for him.
Well, I just thought about something and a light bulb went off when you said that. Yeah, he came up in the acting. He came up in the acting before he got into music, and typically what happens is most artists, singers, and rappers, they have that as their career first, and then once that dies off, they try to prolong their career by going into acting. He
Exactly.
did the exact opposite. Now, having said that, where the light bulb went off for me is he's used to playing characters.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So if that's his first, professional job is okay, let me just jump in character, then I can see now how it's easy for him to just, when it comes to music, let me just jump into these characters.
Exactly. Let me wear those shoes. Let me study those people who are doing this. And I think he did. He studied Kendrick Lamar, came up with a song, and was like, hey, this is good enough to sell because I can act just like him. And then they got into it and he realized, like, authentically, I think that's Kendrick. That boy lyric, authentically, he beat him out. And it's like that in any situation. Once you see the real, it's just like a fake pair of Jordans. You gonna start noticing all of the fake Jordans everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick exposed the real. Trump exposed the real when it came to presidents and corporate thugging. Now you get to see who was fake about it, who was really halfway doing it or halfway trying to be something that they weren't to please people. And then you see that authenticity that comes out of Kendrick, comes out of the Trump situation, that the authenticity of a real assassination attempt. If you look at a real assassination attempt and how methodical it was, and you look at this one, and to your point, you see them staying on stage. You don't see the Secret Service come in to put them in a headlock and drag them off the stage and make sure. So just for me, like I said, outside looking in, I'm not even going to say I'm speaking for every young black man out there right now. Me personally, I feel like that was staged, and so was the Kendrick and Drake situation. Not
See, I disagree with you. I don't think that assassination was staged. I think that's just real. I think that boy is dead for real. And
I think he
his
really did. Yeah,
his
no, I
ear is
think he's
blown
really,
off for real.
I think he really did. I think all of that. I think the president, yeah, got shot. I think that was part of the. I think the boy planned to die. Yeah, I do. I think they planned it out. I don't think it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is my chance. Oh, I'm gonna wake up today and I'm gonna do it. No, I can't. I personally, I can't think that because Trump announced where he was gonna be. You had to go get your vantage point. You had to get access to these places. You had to go up there and do what you did. And you didn't just do, like, it's different when you just walk up to somebody and shoot them. That didn't happen. This wasn't a face-to-face interaction. This is something from a mile away. And the response was so fast for everybody that it just made me look at it like, dang, they was ready for it, for one. And if they were ready for it, they could have prevented it. That's just mine.
Let me see if I can tie something together that you said earlier, but in regards to authenticity versus entertainment, and I don't know if you exactly put it that way, but I would venture out to say when the realness of life meets entertainment, it can become violent. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tie that in from the standpoint of like we talking about Drake coming from Hollywood and coming up in the film industry and being in Disney, and we know Kendrick Lamar straight from Compton and in the real streets or what have you, and is real out here with them. So you taking that entertainment factor from Drake, you getting that realness from Kendrick, and the thing, and in the same way with Biggie and Pac, we run a real risk in the entertainment industry where people are entertainment. Okay, yeah, we enjoying your music, we dancing to it, right? We really ain't caring too much about the message, but there are some people out there who are caring about those messages. You feel me? And so sometimes those messages in hip hop can get you killed. We done seen it time and time again. There's so many people who've died from hip hop and just from those beefs that it's not even worth it to have beef because you know that there's going to be some murdering behind it from, and what have you. So now that's one point. But at the same time, let me tie that to the political piece because, there's an entertainment factor that comes with Trump outside of past presidents.
Yep.
And the entertainment piece is one factor, but then at the same time, there's some truth to things that there's things that he says that can truly offend other people to the point, obviously, based on the assassination, where they want to take it to the realness and even do an assassination attempt and a murder on his life.
Yep.
You feel me? So here we are with both situations where you take an entertainment in one hand and you meeting it with the real life, and it's causing tragedy. It makes an assassination on the president, but hip hop also sends some people into actual wars. You know what I'm saying? Well, hold on, keep your thought because we're gonna catch it on this next segment.
Wait,
But go
I
ahead,
gotta
do it.
tell
Do,
you,
do your thing.
there's another assassination that we gotta talk about.
Okay, what's that?
Fulio. If you don't, I'm gonna make you bring your phone out next segment, Mr. D.
It's your man, Mr. Dean, aka Cross, and you're listening to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio, and I got my man DJ here, man, in the Twin Cities. Let's go. Yo, what up? It's your man, Mr. Dean, aka Cross, and you're listening to the Man Up Club on Holy Culture Radio. Hey, listen, we got a lot going on. We in the studio talking about President Trump, the assassination, not President Trump. Forgive me, man. Stop throwing the stones. I know y'all mad at me already. Former President Trump and the recent assassination. And we're also talking about hip hop culture and how politics impact hip hop and how hip hop can also impact politics. But at the end of the day, I want you to know about what we're doing here at the Man Up Club because I think that's very important. We're giving a voice to young black males across America between the ages of 13 and 24. We mentor them in 4 distinct areas, which is life skills, social skills, academic discipline, and civic responsibility, with 3 main goals, which is to get them to graduate from high school, keep them out of the prison pipeline, get them to go into college or have a trade after high school. And that's what we do here at the Man Up Club, based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the Twin Cities. So our goal is to give the voice to young black men because you hear a lot of voices in America, but one of those voices that you don't hear is the voice often of young black males themselves. We don't want you to make any assumptions. We want you to be able to hear from them yourself.
Yep.
If you want to connect with us, feel free to do so. You can go to our website at themanupclub.org. Once again, that's themanupclub.org. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, hit us up on our Instagram at themanupclub.mn. Once again, that's themanupclub.in. Love to have your donations because everything that we do within the Man Up Club, we provide for free. We got several different programs. We have a music program where we teach young men how to do music production, teach them music business. We also have a full kitchen where we teach culinary arts and cooking, fitness gym, and then we also have a construction program called Youth Build, where it's a paid program, and that's for males and females to be able to make money and learn trades and skills in the fields of construction. Along with the field trips and along with the food and all the other things that we do within the Man Up Club, especially the one-on-one and the group mentorship, we have to have your support. It's with people like you that allows us to do exactly what it is that we do. All right, now, with that being said, let's jump back into it. Talking about hip-hop, DJs bringing up people and just kind of throwing out there. Who you got now, man? Where you trying to go now?
We were talking about the assassination attempt that happened, the assassination of Drake's career, and me being in the hip hop, especially trap hip hop, something crazy happened the end of June,
Okay.
right? So Julio Fulio, a Florida rapper that was actually into it with a handful of other rappers, dropping diss songs, promoting violence. He was shot like 8 times, Mr. Dean. He died at the age of 26, and I don't know if you knew about his situation too.
No, I don't.
So I was really intrigued because there was a article that came out that said a girl actually set him up.
Okay.
So her last name happened to be my last name. So I ended up looking into it. Found out we're not related, by the way. For anybody who listened to this, I have no relation to that girl in Chicago. Anyway, so they interviewed his mom yesterday, right? And she was just talking about like how she wanted him to be remembered as a person, not as this dangerous person that was out rapping and got influenced by the streets and was shot at multiple times. So one of the things that she actually said, she said that she asked him to stay out of the beef cussed him out and begged him to take stuff down. When he was shot 8 times, she said, I spared their lives even though mine was changed. So he was shot and killed 8 times. So his mom is responding on this platform. She's on the news. She's talking to people. This happened at the end of the month. There's so much else that was stuff that was going on industry wise with the Kendrick situation and Drake and everybody, that there were young black men actually getting killed in Florida. So after Julio got killed, um, what is his name? Ace, Youngin Ace, who was his op, people retaliated on Youngin Ace's people, and I think 4 of his friends actually ended up, and family members ended up killed, all within this span of like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right. So now there's this war that was active already, but Julio, I think, and 3 or 4 other people got shot. All young black men, all got hit, and one died. Like, they left him without a face. Like, they closed casket funeral, which is, for me, was even more of a reason for me not to promote that type of music. But for other people in his circle to release a song in memory of him is dissing the opposition of people who killed them. So when we talk about this political game, when it goes to industry, there's this political game that goes into rap and streets, right? And it does leak over. And it's happened. This is not the first time. It will not be the last time that a young artist is killed in the streets for talking and rapping about stuff that he's done to people or the stuff that he's going to do to people. And I just wanted to get a reaction from you, Mr. Dean, because from an older generation standpoint, this is a domino effect that I remember Biggie and Pac situation.
Right.
This is a domino effect that is so watered down now that people just see it as regular.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I mean, words have the biggest lie that was ever told to the culture was sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that's just a lie, because words hurt. As a matter of fact, words can cripple. And words can cause you, mental health issues. You can have somebody say something to you when you was 9 or 10 years old that's negative, and you still trying to get over that thing right now at the age of 28. And so where words have power, whether you're talking politics and you're standing at a presidential podium, or whether you live in concert, on a hip hop stage, and they all have implications. And so the thing is, that now that's why I do thank God for the new genre of Christian hip hop, because you do have a remnant of hip hop artists that's out there that is speaking life and spreading life to the culture, and more importantly, who's bringing Jesus, to the forefront of culture and conversation. And it's unlike in times past where, the only time that you could really connect with Jesus or hear about Jesus was in a traditional church or in a traditional format, and that's how huge hip hop culture is, because it has basically transcended even religion, to the point where now, the gospel is out in the streets for real to fulfill the Great Commission based on the hip hop ministers. Check that term out, the hip hop ministers of the gospel, that's out there, that's spreading the good news. The question becomes, though, how does CHH, Christian hip hop, how does it explode to the point where it starts infiltrating the mainstream? Now, I give credit to my boy D1. He calls a lot of things out that he sees in the secular market when it comes to hip hop, and how it destroys communities, and how like you just got done saying, where these things spill over actually into the streets and young people get killed. But it started in the studio, it started in the booth, it started on the microphone, and it started with words, and you just put a beat behind the words. But ultimately, somebody acted on what those ideas and what the thought process was, and they took it out of the studio and took it out of an art form, and they made it a reality and a lifestyle, and they actually committed to it to the point where they believed it so much, to the point that they would carry out some of the things that would be perpetuated and said in them songs. One of the things that I would challenge mainstream culture on is I hear a lot of people talking about Diddy and what he did, and I don't condone nothing that he did. I think he's dead wrong. I think he should stand trial for what he did, and I think he's innocent until proven guilty. But if he's proven guilty, then justice be done. But what I am saying is, when it comes to hip hop culture and politics, man, for those who are they like, well, I won't listen to Diddy's music no more, and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, man, it's like then you shouldn't listen to nobody's music, the majority of hip hop music, because the majority of messages in hip hop music perpetuates the behavior that Diddy was doing in private. So that's something to think about.
Yeah.
And what I'm grateful for is I'm grateful for a lot of these Christian hip hop platforms that are popping up around the country, where actually people in different communities can come out and actually see live Christian hip hop music, meet the artists, learn about God, not get murdered, actually, speak life. And we got several of them around the country. As a matter of fact, we got one of them right here in the Twin Cities called Godflow Fest. Y'all need to go ahead and make sure y'all Google that and tap in on the website, which is godflowfest.com, which is one of the most popular Christian hip hop festivals around the country that's actually located here in the Twin Cities. And we got so many artists, man, that's going to be part of that here. And that's going to be, and what's interesting is we're actually hosting that at the Man Up Club at our new clubhouse, where we're looking to get about, 700 to 800 people, where they're going to have barbecue, break dancing,
Yeah.
the live concert, like the whole nine, vendors and everything. But you got artists such as like Sis and Lil Bro, brother and sister hip hop duo that's based out of the Twin Cities. You got Zay Hill, you got Toya Love, man. You got local artists here in the Twin Cities like Righteous Jones. As a matter of fact, we got my boy who's on the show right now, DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You gonna have that platform for the first time as a new artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just an opportunity for, people to, really be a part of something special and, to really grow and get connected, man. I mean,
Mhm.
it's so many artists, but check it out, man. Go to the Instagram at Godflow_Fest. Tap in, go to Eventbrite, get your ticket, pop out. You know what I'm saying? Because we serious about what we're doing, and it's not just about the music. You know what I'm saying? It's also about changing the culture, speaking life. These are not artists that are Hollywood where they on stage and then after they get done performing, you ain't gonna see them. These are actually artists that's gonna actually get off stage, get down in get down with the crowd,
Yeah.
have conversation about real life. But more importantly, these are artists that actually pray with you through your situation, man.
Man.
So that's Godflow Fest, man, and it's coming up, and you're a part of
Yeah.
something special, and to whom much is given, as much is required, and that's the thing. When you get these platforms, you got to take them serious and just do God's will.
Yeah. And it's truly a blessing. We went from chasing fame and revenge to chasing faith and really pushing forgiveness. I know a lot of my music, I'm really just venting to God now, and I'm asking Him to help me identify my flaws, help me understand where I've been, so then I can help other people get to where they're going. And it's a reflection process where I'm not focused on my failures as much. I'm focused on my successes. I'm focused on my end goal, on moving towards more of a righteous path. And to your point, changing the culture back to what it was, where it's a expression. It's not a acting gig.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited. I'm overly grateful for these opportunities that I've been given in every platform that all the CHH artists have been on. Everybody that has been pushing Christianity in the most positive way. I never thought it was possible before this year. So
Yeah. So tap into that, godflowfest.com, man. We done had T.I. come out, the Godflow. We done had Angela Black, China White, my man Cedric the Entertainer. A lot of people who in CH8, Scooty Wop, man, 1K Few. I can't name all of these people. Aha Gazelle, man, D1, Canton Jones. The list goes on and on and on, man. But Tap into us. You see, we making a statement, and we doing it for real for Jesus. That's your man, Mr. Dean, aka Cross. You listen to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio. Tap in with us every week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.